Hello and welcome. Today I would like to speak to you about boundaries and what they meant to me and how I discovered my boundaries, because growing up I didn't have any boundaries because everything was acceptable. Whatever people were saying to me was acceptable. And then as I was getting older, I realized that what a lot of people were saying were not acceptable. And then I started to say no. It took a lot of courage, because I know the reason why I never said no before, because it was just because I wanted to be seen and heard and loved, and felt that if I started saying no, then no one would love me anymore. So I had to move through that and realize that it was okay. Again, it took a lot of strength. One day someone had said to me, if you want people to change the way they speak to you, then you need to change the way you speak to yourself. I was very hard on me, as most people were. And then he went on to saying is that you need to treat yourself with kindness and respect. See, I didn't know what kindness and respect was, because no one treated me that way. So I had to find out for myself. What did kindness and respect look like to me? What was speaking kind to me? What did that sound like? So I worked on that, and then as I did, I discovered myself in the process. I discovered me and started to stand up for me with a voice to be heard and reckoned with. Boundaries are important to have and to know. And you know, when someone steps on one of your boundaries, you tend to react very quickly and might bite at them or snap. People don't know what your boundaries are unless you tell them. I was always being constantly reminded, because someone would sneak into the boundary, and then I would have to tell them that it was not acceptable. It was like I was being tested to find out how truthful and authentic I was for myself. If you have a moment and like this video, I would really appreciate it. So, how I spoke to myself, how I treated myself started to change. And interestingly enough, so did my life. Speaking my truth is so important, to speak from my heart. To always be honest, no matter what. I find now that when someone says something to me, I have sometimes a feeling that what they're saying to me is not true. And I remember myself of all the times I used to lie because it was normal. And now today, recently someone snuck in my boundary. And I was so surprised, because I didn't react. I didn't say anything. It took me a couple of days to process that information and go, why did you not say anything? And I heard this voice within me come out and say, yes, but then they won't love you anymore. And it took my breath away, because I was surprised. But then I knew, that those aspects of me still lingered within the corridor of my heart. So I went in and I had a conversation with her, with all of them, and said, I love you dearly. I will always respect you. No one will ever treat you unkindly again. It is important, though, to be authentic at any cost. Because you see, when I didn't speak my truth, I was not standing up for me. And that's probably the most important thing that I could do for myself, is to be truthful and to stand up for me. So know your boundaries. Realize people are not mind readers. Tell them gently and kindly. Because everything that you do on this journey is to discover more about who you are. Who are you? To be authentic, to be real, to stand in your truth. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate your comments, your sharing, your thumbs up. From my heart to yours with so much love.